Hi and welcome everyone to this lesson in cables. In this lesson we are going to classify our cables according to their insulation level. Okay, so let's start. What does an insulation mean? Okay, so if we have a cable like this one, as you can see we have this one is called core. A core which is consisting of a group of conductors. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these are conductors or wires. We can say more conductors to be more specific, which carry the electric current. Now, for example, we have this core, which is for phase number A, for example, and this core for phase number B, this core for C, and neutral and the earthing, okay? So in order to insulate or prevent the short circuit between these two phases, for example, this one for example is our first phase. This is, for example, phase A, and this one, for example, phase B, just as an example. Okay, now in order to prevent a short circuit between A and B, we need to insulate the phase from the other phase. Okay, and this is done by using this material, this one, which is called insulation. Okay, now you have to know that here, as an example, this one is called core, okay, or a single core cable. Let's say, for example, this is one cable. You can see all of these wires are conductors. They carry the electric current. Okay, so all of these wires are contained in one core. All of this are named as one core. A core is made of a group of conductors. We said before that the conductor can be copper or aluminum. Okay, now the insulation which we are talking about here, to insulate the core itself from any other electrical conductors or from the earth, it is made of PVC or cross-linked polyethylene, XLPE, or cross-linked polyethylene. Okay, you can see this red one, this material. This material is the insulation material, okay, made of PVC and or cross-linked polyethylene. Now, outside of this, you can see this is something is called sheath, okay, and it is usually made of PVC or always made of PVC. This is the outer cover of the core itself or the cable itself, okay. Now let's look at these cables. This one, for example, is a multi-core cable. We will understand in the next lesson the classification of cables according to cores. However, this one is called multi-cable core because it has more than one core. As you can see, we have this red one, the blue one, and green, yellow, and the earthing one. Okay, so we have five. This is called the 5-core cable. 5 cores. The 3-phase, neutral, and earth. Okay. Now you can see this one is the conductors made of copper. You can see this one is the insulating material, which can be PVC or cross-linked polyethylene. Then you will find that all of these cables or all of these cores, not cables, cores, you will find here a small material here. Okay, this material is known as the filler. Okay, and what is the benefit of filler? It fills the gap, just fill, that's why it's called filler. Fill the gaps between the cores. Okay, just fill the gaps between the cores. Now, outside of this one, you will find here a black one here, this material, this black one, this here. This black material is called the inner sheath. Okay, this one, inner sheath. Now, what does this material do? This material protects the inner cores from something is called armoring. Okay, this silver wires, as you can see, these silver wires are called armoring of the cable, or the armor of the cable, steel wire armor of the cable. Okay, so this sheath protects is as if it is an insulation or isolating between the cores and this armoring material, this hard armoring metallic steel material. Okay, now so this inner sheath protects the inner cores from this armoring or the armor of the cable itself. Okay, and what is the benefit of the armor itself? It's called armor or armoring. This armor protects the cable itself against mechanical stress. Okay, used as a mechanical protection for the cable itself. Then we have finally an outer sheath. This is called outer sheath, for which surrounds the whole cable, protection for the whole cable. Okay, so this is the composition or the components of the cable. Now, as you can see, something called LSHF. What does this mean? Sheath. LSHF. This is an abbreviation for low smoke halogen free cables. Okay, now what does this mean? This is a material, this inner sheath is a material made of a material of halogen free compounds that are good fire retardants. Okay, and they emit less than 0.5 hydrogen chloride and smoke when burned. Okay, and as you can see, there is no PVC in these cables, hence no harmful fumes or dense black smoke are given out in case of having a fire. Okay, so that is the function of this material, the low smoke halogen free. This is good fire retardants or good protection against fire, and produce very small amount of hydrogen chloride and smoke when they are burned. And of course, it means there is no harmful fumes or any black smoke during burning or in case of fire. Okay, now the important thing about insulation level is that we have two types. We have a PVC insulation level and cross-linked polyethylene. Now we need to understand the difference between these two. Now, first, the PVC and cross-linked polyethylene. The PVC can withstand normal temperature of 70 degrees. Okay, however, the cross-linked polyethylene can withstand higher temperature up to 90 degrees. Okay, now also the maximum temperature during short circuit level, during fault in our system and very huge amount of currents, the PVC can withstand very higher temperature of 150 degrees and 250 degrees for the cross-linked polyethylene. Now, of course, since cross-linked polyethylene can withstand higher temperature and higher temperature at short circuit level, it means that the cost of cross-linked polyethylene is higher than PVC. Okay. Now, the application of both of them is that medium voltage cables usually use cross-linked polyethylene insulation. Why? Due to the high short circuit level in the medium voltage. Okay, the currents are really high, which means we need an insulation which can withstand higher temperatures. Okay, of course, during a short circuit we have large amount of currents, which means we have high heat dissipation, which means high temperature. So the cross-linked polyethylene is better in this case. Now for the low voltage system, we can use the PVC or the cross-linked polyethylene. Usually PVC used for low amount of currents, loads with small currents, and cross-linked polyethylene used for high currents. Now the inner sheath and the outer sheath, usually this sheath is made of PVC, this sheath. So in this lesson we discussed the insulation levels inside the cable.